done this in so long that I've forgotten how to do it. Okay. All right. Just, I think. Okay. Yeah. All right. So, let me see. Today is, what is today? It's Veterans Day. Um, and I have time today. I usually don't have time. So, um, I wanted to go live. So, it's your girl, Nurse. Wait, hold on. It's your girl, Dr. Reese, right? NP. And I just really wanted to come today and give you guys, oops, sorry, I'm all over the place. Give you guys some updates. Some updates on what's been going on, why I've been MIA, and I guess kind of what to look forward to in the future, Lord willing, right? So the last time I've done a video, I don't even think I went live. I think it was an actual video. I don't even know how true this is. I feel like it was quite some time ago, but I think it is not as long ago as I thought. Yeah, so I'm not, honestly, I don't remember the last video I did. I associate the last video that I did with the passing of my cousin. And it's been hard thinking about videos with that because it's always on the top of mind. But anyhow, yeah, so I don't even know what to talk about. No, sorry. All right, hold on. So since whenever video, I've finished the AGNP program, the AGPCNP program. So in case you don't know, that's the adult gerontology, primary care nurse practitioner program. So I completed that in August at Wilkes University. And I think, as I told you guys, I was like a glutton for punishment because I went back even after being unhappy with several things with the school. But in hindsight and in retrospect, knowing all that I know now, I still would have chose Zen Wilkes. Yeah. Granted, they didn't do what they initially said that they would do, and I really didn't like that. And there were some changes in the program while I was like practically at the end, and I really didn't like that either. And that's the PMHNP program. So that kind of did turn me off. But as an alumni, I think I got like 35. I don't want to quote, I don't want to make stuff up, but it was a significant discount for an alumni to continue, which was quite the incentive for me to continue, knowing that it was really only 2 more semesters. So overall, it was easy peasy. Well, let me not say it was easy peasy. It was pretty straightforward. I will say that. It was straightforward, but it was definitely a lot harder than the PMHNP program at Wilkes. I will tell you that. And they changed a lot of things as far as like the way that they allowed you to review the exams after. Like, so you take an exam and then on a certain day of the week, let's say Thursday, maybe Wednesday, Thursday, something like that, Thursday, Friday, you were able to review the questions that you got wrong, and they would show you the right answers. They don't do that anymore. They just show you the question that you got wrong, which is not bad, but it's just a change. It's not what they've been doing. So, um, and then the exams were just a lot harder. Like, seriously, if I would have started with like the FNP program, which is very similar, or the AGPCNP program at Wilkes, I honestly don't even think I would have continued on to do the PMHNP. So I'm so glad that I went with my passion first, which is psych, and did that. And then I want to say this too. Although the program at Wilkes was a lot harder, the adult gerontology was a lot harder. I do have to say that I was actually doing the AGPCNP while simultaneously doing a doctorate in nursing practice. So I was in two schools at the same time pursuing my third postgraduate degree. Crazy. It was crazy. And then all in all, like, I had started a new job and I was starting a private practice. So, like, I'm glad that I did do it because I'm glad that I got it out of the way. I got all of that out of the way, and I'm living in my purpose now, and I am enjoying what I'm doing. But it was like a lot to when you really think about it. It was a lot. But I say all that to say, so yeah, so I completed both of those degrees. So that's why I'm still Nurse Reese, but you know, Dr. Reese at this point. And thank you, thank you. Private practice. Well, yeah, I'll talk about. Listen, whew, I will say this. I started the private practice um, after a year of work. A year of working as a PMHNP. But I will say that I I I started seeing patients a year in. I started the business not very long after. Like the credentialing, the licensures, just all the things that you need to do to solidify the business to, hit the ground running. So I did that months before. But private practice for me, I love it. I do love it because, for one, you're your own boss. I see the patients that I want to see. I'm very selective in the patients that I do accept into my practice. Um, and it's very rewarding. Like, I really love it. Now, I'm not going to say it's easy. It's not easy. It's a lot of work. But being that I do it remotely, the overhead is minimal, right? It's very minimal. And the money is good. So there's really nothing to complain about. Um, it's your own, so you do with it as you see fit. And then moving forward, there's a lot of other things that I want to do. I haven't incorporated the primary care aspect in, and I really don't know if I will or when I will. For me personally, I went back for the adult gerontology just to be more well-rounded and to be able to offer care for patients in psych who are not up to date with their care. In my work, I noticed that a lot of patients, they haven't been seen by a PCP in like 2-3 years, but they're working on their mental health, which is great. But you know, as nurses, we think holistically, and there's other things that can be going on. Somebody's come to you depressed; it may be a thyroid issue, right? So being able to care for the person as a whole is really why I did it, even though psych is my passion. So that's why I did psych first. But yeah, it is great. It's it is well. It is well. So it's not for everybody. It is not for everybody. But I think the most important thing is to have your practice policies in place and to stand firm by your policies. Um, I accept insurance. I accept private pay. Um, you know, and there's pros and cons to both ends. But overall, as a small business starting out, it was more feasible to start with insurance. And I don't really see myself not using insurance in the near future. I know a lot of therapists are just private pay, but it works. It works, and I enjoy the patients that I do see. So yeah, I would recommend that whoever is interested in starting their private practice, that you don't just graduate from school and open up a practice, because I mean you can start working on opening your practice, but to start seeing patients right out of school, people do it, right? They do it, especially if you're in a full, what's it, full practice authority state or whatever it's called, FPA state. Um, people do it because it's hard to find a job. I mean, I've been blessed. I've been blessed, but I understand it is hard to find a job. Um, but you don't know what you don't know, right? You don't know what you don't know. And if you are able to find a place of employment that has support, um, that's amazing. My job, there really was no support, but the minimal support that I did have, it was helpful. I'll say it like that. They told me sink or swim. Yeah, that's what the clinical director told. No, was he the clinical director? Yeah, the clinical director told me sink or swim. I was a second NP when I was hired, and they didn't know. They didn't know because it's really was a therapist run company, so they just didn't know, right? Um, and don't be scared to utilize your resources, whether in a private practice or in practice, period. I don't know everything, and I'm not scared to look it up, right? Or to reach out to other colleagues or, other resources to find answers. Um, but you are the provider, right? And know when to refer out. Like, you don't have to carry everything on your own shoulders. So, um, it can be challenging, but it is very rewarding. So that's what I'll say with that. So yeah, so aside from, starting to practice and finishing school, I can't believe I'm done with school. I feel like I've been in school. I have been in school for forever. So to finish everything all at once was pretty nice. Um, but so here is the downside. Like, when you're in private practice and when you're in small practice, you don't really have that much time. So you have to really use your time wisely. Seriously, like you have to really use your time wisely and set time aside to prioritize like your family, your friends, your loved ones. You do have to make time. Um, and self-care. Self-care is so important. Like you have to make time for yourself. And I would recommend that if you're even if you're just practicing, whether private practice or not, I would encourage everyone to have their own like therapist or someone that they see to kind of help unpack what you see every day, what you hear every day, because it can be a lot. We're humans too. And one thing that I find is that when you really provide tailored care, a lot of patients think that they're your only patient. Um, and they're not. So, and there's relationships that are being built and things of that sort. But you just want to make sure that you prioritize yourself. I don't know if that even connected or made sense, but it's just that sometimes it could become overwhelming. And what I'm trying to say is that they'll reach out to you anytime if you do not have the proper boundaries in place. So within my practice, phone call is like a last resort. Patient portal, right? You go through the patient portal, and then you'll receive a response. But if it's something emergent, immediate, outside of like an emergency where you need to go to the emergency room, then you can call the office. But things like that, they can stack up. Um, if you don't have those boundaries in place. So you have to have those boundaries. You don't want to be in a predicament where you're checking messages, checking portal messages, or you have a lot of unanswered voicemails or your staff, whatever the case may be. You just want to make sure that whatever you're doing is manageable. and that you're not taking on too much at one time. So that's for for private practice for sure. Um, yeah, but I get it. It's saturated. That's what I'm seeing a lot. It's saturated. And I know a lot of people want to go out on their own. And you got to do what's best for you, right? But I wouldn't advise it. And in addition to private practice and all that other stuff, I've been precepting students, which I do find rewarding. It's work too. It is a lot of work too, especially if you are um it's like patience, you're providing a service, and it's a level of quality that I try to provide the students with as well. So if you're doing it with care and you're doing it right, it's work, right? It is work. But I do enjoy it, and I have had so many great students. And it's something that I do see myself doing for a while. But I will say this: I think I will take certain breaks, like certain breaks. I know some schools, I don't know, they have like sessions like every 8 weeks, some schools 6 weeks or whatever. So I wouldn't really go with those schools, or I would go with them, but not when I know I need a break. Like, yeah, I'll just say it like that. So just be mindful of the schools that you're accepting students from, and when their semesters or terms end, so that you can give yourself a break from that, because it is work. It really, really, really is work. But overall, God is good. Um, Life is good. And when you are living in your purpose and you're doing what you enjoy, it really doesn't feel like work. It really doesn't feel like work. When I tell you I'm so happy and I really, really, really enjoy what I do, I mean, the days go by. I don't know what day it is, just because every day is a blessing. It's just a pleasure every day doing what I do. So that is nice. That is nice, and being able to regulate that. Because when I was at my job, it was so much stress, It's like you're seeing, and this is one thing I'll say too. Like at a job, whew, you can see anywhere from 12 to 20 plus patients a day. And I'll say it like this: like at a job, I guess you can see 12 to 20 plus patients a day. And in private practice, I can see 4 patients or less and make what I make seeing all those patients in one day. So you just do the math on that and figure out the stress that entails, that comes with that. And also, it was kind of like when I first started in private practice, and I see like, oh, I only need to see this many patients to make this. And then you're going to a job and you're working, and it's like you feel stressed out. You feel like you really feel overworked. Like, wow, I'm really overworked, and underpaid. But again, if you're doing it to help people and it's for a purpose and it's a learning experience and all this other stuff, then it won't feel so much as work. And you won't feel, it's for a purpose. You know that there's an end goal there, and it's only for as long as you want it to be, if you decide to open a practice while working, right? So it's a means to an end. But I'm just saying, listen, whatever you do, especially when you're caring for others, be passionate about it. Just be passionate about it. And even if you're not passionate about it, just try to provide the best care that you can provide, right? It's customer service at the end of the day. And that's one thing that I tell my students. It's customer service. So, treat the patients well, treat them like they're your family, um, and you'll see positive results, right? So that's that with private practice. But other than that, those are really the major updates. Those are really the major updates that I wanted to. Listen, I don't want to sit here and tell y'all lies, because I've been lying, saying, oh, I'm going to do this, oh, I'm going to do that. I don't know what I'm going to do. I'll go live when I can. I'm trying to be more active on social media, but I'm inconsistent, and I don't like being inconsistent. And I pride myself on being a woman of my word. So I'll just say, keep posted. And when I can do, I will do. And if you guys want, if you have topics that you want to talk about, I can try to do go live at least once a month, right? And if we, you guys want to do like a open forum or something like that, we could definitely do that. I don't know how to like I don't know social media like that. Like I completely fell off. I know that you can have like other people join and you guys can talk about stuff. I can look into it and see, if you guys want to do that. But you guys have to let me know. But I am here. I love to serve. I love to help others. Um, but I can't overextend myself and overexert myself trying to help others. And which is why I love the students, because it's simultaneous. It's while I'm helping them, it all falls into place, right? But it doesn't mean that I can't make time if others need time. So I can and I will. It's just y'all have to let me know. All right. So I just really wanted to just come and say hello and kind of let you guys know what's been going on. And I'm trying to think, is there anything else? I've been seeing some comments. Oh, and I'll just say this too. So I did go to Capella for my DNP, for those who are asking. And as far as Capella precepting, I am not precepting Capella students right now. I don't know if I will. It's just because I don't know how it would fit into my life, into what I have going on. I don't know if I know it's a time commitment with Capella, because you have the preceptor has to be available at certain times and so on and so forth. So it's a possibility, but I can't promise that. Um, and while we're here talking about Capella, I'll give you my thoughts on the DNP program there, and if I would do it again. Would I do it again? I don't know. Well, it's not that I don't know if I would do it again. Ultimately, I wanted to do a DNP at a school where like I could have done like basically like a PMHNP DNP at the same time. But I already had my PMHNP, so it was kind of, and I wasn't going to do AGNP, DNP and have that long drawn out process. That's why I ended up going with Capella. But about Capella, it was okay. If I had to rate it 0 through 10, I'll give it a 7.5. And that's a strong 7.5. But you know what? I'll give it I'll give it an 8. I'll give it an 8. The only reason why I'll give it an 8 is because my experience really was not bad. I had great instructors except for one who I had to drop her real fast. And once I dropped her, everything else was, it was smooth sailing before her, when I dropped her, and after her. Because she treated the program like a per diem job, not even a part-time job. Like she was treating it like she'll get to it when she can. Like anyhow, so if you are interested in Capella, if you ever been to Capella, then you kind of know how that is not conducive to what the students are trying to do. We need someone who is going to be active and adhere to the grading policy. Like you don't grade on your time, you grade on the school's time, right? But aside from that, everyone else was pretty good. I've noticed that with Capella and the DNP program, they are trying to slow you down. I know a couple of students who were able to complete the program in 6 months. I think it took me about 9 or 10 months, maybe even 11 or 12. I think it took me about a year. Sorry, y'all, I'm moving around. I think it took me about a year. Um, and again, like the first, I think the first 8 courses are pretty, I don't want to say simple, but it's, if you did like the BSN, MSN, acapella, they're pretty much the same. It's more writing, I guess. Some things are slightly different. You have to apply yourself. The statistics, I don't know how y'all are with statistics, but the statistics class, it jammed a couple of people up. My son helped me. He at the time, I think he was in like 7th grade or something like that. He helped 6th, 7th grade. He helped me with that. But anyhow, utilize your resources. It wasn't that bad. Those, I guess, general classes. But once you get to like the 9,000 classes, that's where things get wacky. They just get very weird. You start blowing in the wind. You don't know if you're coming or going. It doesn't matter like how you follow the rubric or whatever. It's really up to the teacher's discretion. Well, I don't want to say it doesn't matter if you follow the rubric. I would say follow the rubric. And that's how it can't be that much up to the teacher's discretion. But you do have some that they do their own thing. And I was ready to give up, especially when it came to the topic approval, because they're not very clear on what the topic should be. They're not like 100% clear on that, but it can't be research, that's for sure. So nothing research and nothing where you are creating or developing anything, right? You basically you're not reinventing any wheels. You have to do a project on something that has already been done, and you are implementing that and coming up with your own results, if that makes sense. I think if you're interested in Capella and you take that little bit of advice, that'll take you very far. So I'll say that. Once you realize that, then you're good to go. There's a couple of people reviewers, we'll call them reviewers, who review your topic review, and they can be sticklers, just resistance, just walls of resistance. So once it gets to the topic approval, just be persistent, follow the rubric, ask for help if you need it. Just don't give up. You may want to cry a time or two if it gets denied the first or second time. But follow whatever it is that they tell you to do, whatever corrections it is that you need to do, and you'll be fine. Sorry. After your topic is approved, then there's something called the IRB that you have to go through. Now, this is not in order. I'm just telling you, like, so once your topic is approved, then you have to do the IRB. I don't remember what it stands for right now, but something, I don't want to make it up. I think it's the Institutional Review Board, something like that, but I don't want to make it up. But once you go through the IRB, well, you have to get through the IRB, and they switched up that process like multiple times just within the time that I was there. So they may switch up that process up again, or not. But that's its own thing, and then it's its own department, and it has its own reviewers, right? So once you get that up, and then that, like I said, we could talk about this forever because it's just so much that goes into it. But once you get past that, then you can start working on your project and implementing your project, collecting your data, and so on and so forth. And I'll just tell you guys, just because we're here, I ended up doing my project. I wanted to do it on ADHD, something about ADHD, but there wasn't enough evidence or resources on it. So I ended up doing it on suicide prevention, which goes hand in hand with my cousin. So, yeah. Anyhow, so I ended up doing it on suicide prevention, yeah. Which it felt pretty, it felt like something that, would be good, So, yeah. But it actually was a good project. And I do use it in practice today, so yeah. But aside from that, one thing that Capella is doing now, when I was in the program, I think we had like 6 business days or 7, I don't want to make it up, but we had a much longer time to hand in our assignments. And then all of a sudden we had like less time. I don't know if that makes sense. But no, okay, so we had a longer, no, okay, I'm wrong. We had a shorter period of time for the instructors to review our assignments. And this is how they hold you back, right? We had a short period of time. They had like 3 days, and then they extended it to like 7 days, something like that. Now, mind you, the days are business days. So you can hand in an assignment on like a Thursday, and they have like over a week to review it, which can really slow you up. And then if they like, and then sometimes this happens. So I'll say this: when it came to like my final project or my final assignment being handed in, there was this one instructor that she wanted you to put it through Grammarly. And if it was not a certain percentage on Grammarly, then she wouldn't even look at it. Thank God mine was the percentage. But there was something else that she wanted. Like just stuff that is not even the school's requirements. Like they make up their own rules. And stuff like that will hold you back. So it's a lot of subjective things involved that can hold you back when it comes to the DNP project. So as long as you have that in mind and you know how to navigate around it or plan, then you'll be fine. I would say that I would aim for 9 months to a year to finish the program. 9 months to a year, especially the way things are going now. Even the MSN program, I heard that I saw that they're changing it from 200 clinical hours to 500. They changed it from 200 to 500. And then I think you guys know, or if you're interested in Capella, that they do have, as far as I know, they have their own NP program now. I think that it's FNP, I think PsycNP, and adult. The one that I'm in. It might be, well, the one I did. It might be a couple of other ones. I'm not sure, but they definitely do have. I don't know if it's accredited. Now that I don't know, but I know a couple of people that were looking into it. But that's that with that. So I don't have any reviews or anything like that because I haven't done that. Oh, but what I can say is from the research that I did, they don't accept your 3 Ps. So what is it? Advanced pharmacology, advanced pathophysiology, and advanced health assessment. They don't accept those. So you'll have to do all those again. It doesn't matter if it's 5 years old, 1 year old. They don't accept those. At least when they started the program, they didn't accept it. So, because like it's basically you have to do it through them. I think they use Optum too. But I don't want to start making stuff up. But allegedly, they're supposed to supply you with preceptors because you go to like whatever hospitals that they're affiliated with. So it seems like, it could be a really good program, but I don't know. I don't know. All right. So that was an update on the DNP program and the review. Would I do it again? Yeah, I would do it again. Would I do it again at the same time? Honestly, I wouldn't really change much. I really, really wouldn't change much. Because being done basically a couple of months apart was just perfect for me, Yeah, it worked out pretty well, and I'm just glad to be done. So again, I just want to give you guys some updates, and that's it for me for today. So I hope you all, as always, have found this helpful. Yeah, and that's it. So Godspeed to you all, and be well. And I'll try to do this again soon. All right. Bye. Okay. I don't think I did. Sorry. Let me see. I don't know how to stop it. How do you stop this? I don't know. That's so crazy. Let me see.